A Polish soldier who defended our border against illegal immigrants faces up to 3 years in prison. In November 2023, about 10 foreigners illegally entered Poland. Soldiers gave chase, firing warning shots beforehand. Second Lieutenant O also joins the chase after the migrants. Running through the forest, he stumbles and falls to the ground. His gun fires uncontrollably. The bullet hits one of the spinal vertebrae of a 22-year-old Syrian citizen. The man falls over. The Syrian man was immediately given medical assistance. He was taken to the hospital. After a few weeks, he was discharged. At that point, social activists probably stepped in with legal assistance. 3 days after the shooting, the illegal immigrant already had legal assistance. One of his attorneys was Piotr Zemwa, who participated in the illegal takeover of TVP and is the chairman of the supervisory board of TVP in liquidation. The Syrian claims that Second Lieutenant O did not fire an alarm or warning shot, but shot him immediately. He adds that it was the only shot he fired. Ballistic analyses contradict these statements. They clearly show that 3 shots were fired from Second Lieutenant O's weapon. During questioning, he claims that after shooting Second Lieutenant O, he ran up to him and let out wild cries. Witness accounts and video footage clearly confirm that the soldier took care of the wounded man the entire time, applying a bandage to his wound. 5 days after the events in the Białowieża forest area, the military police in Białystok launched an investigation, and in May, a soldier from the 1st Warsaw Armored Brigade was charged with, among other things, careless handling of a weapon. Experts are outraged. The man who broke the law, who illegally entered our country, is the victim, and the soldier who is doing his duty is the criminal. I do not agree with this. The soldier's defense attorney requested that the case be dismissed. The court did not grant the request. After the district prosecutor's office in Warsaw filed an indictment, the trial began in October before the military garrison court in Warsaw. The next hearing date was set for February. The situation on the border with Belarus resembles a testing ground, where those in power are testing their incompetence. Charges against soldiers and regular incursions into Polish airspace by balloons. No one is in control of anything. A soldier should not fear the prosecutor more than an aggressor at the border, and a government that allows this has no moral right to talk about Poland's security. Expert opinions from forensic experts support the Polish soldier. According to them, the PM98 pistol is not structurally secured against accidental discharge as a result of a fall. In addition, the training required for soldiers does not cover how to behave in a pursuit situation. I hope that this soldier will be defended against all of this. I hope that the truth is that it was an unfortunate accident. According to General Jarosław Gromadziński, expert opinions are not the most important thing. The key fact is that the soldier was defending the Polish state against illegal immigrants and did everything he could to protect us. He served there protecting the state border, and therefore the state should also protect him, because he serves the state, and this situation undermines the seriousness and authority of the state. Due to such situations, in the face of arrests and charges, soldiers will be afraid to use their weapons. This will seriously jeopardize the safety of Polish military personnel and Polish citizens. While the Polish soldier faces serious criminal charges, the Syrian who was shot has been granted international protection in Poland and, according to Onet, lives in a city in eastern Poland. We all remember the death of young Sergeant Mateusz Sitek, who was killed at the border by an illegal immigrant. Only 1 week separates us from the start of the Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. 26 of the 60 athletes who have been selected for the Olympic team received their Olympic nominations today from the Polish president Karol Nawrocki, among others. All that remains for us to do is to support our athletes on their way to the highest honors. This year's Winter Olympics are also a sentimental journey through time for Polish sport. 16 disciplines, 116 competitions, 60 Polish athletes. I vow that we will take part in the 25th Winter Olympic Games in the true spirit of sportsmanship. 26 white and red athletes took the oath before flying to Italy, where they will fight for their dreams. You devote your lives, your emotions. It is a time filled with tears, sweat, often blood, joy, sadness, falling down and getting up again, in order to strive for this moment and go to the Olympic Games. The athletes will arrive at their destination by a special means of transport. Thanks to the kindness of the president, the entire team will fly to Milan on the presidential plane, for which we are very grateful, Mr. President. There they will face fierce competition for the highest honors in sports, Olympic medals. But before they do, they will traditionally take part in the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. Natalia Czerwonka and Kamil Stoch will carry the white and red flag as the standard bearers of the Polish team. It's a huge honor, and I would just like to say that the president's speech today gave me a lot of confidence and made me cry. I really cried. The ceremony is now ready to go. We will pay the greatest tribute to Italian culture. We will tell our story in an extremely contemporary, even humorous way, because the ceremony should also bring a smile to people's faces. Athletes have no concerns that the sports arenas are ready. The Olympic facilities have been thoroughly tested because we have been competing in this arena for several years. I think they are ready. The residents of Milan are not hiding their excitement. Milan will gain a lot in terms of tourism. The eyes of the world will be on us. The Olympic Games are a wonderful event. They bring together many very important athletes, and I hope that Milan will give them the color they deserve. Cortina is also looking forward to the Olympics. The return of the Olympic Games to Cortina after 70 years is a very important event. It definitely brings prestige to a city like Cortina. It's important for the whole region. 70 years ago, it was in Cortina that Franciszek Gąsienica won Poland's first Winter Olympic medal. He took bronze in the Nordic combined. Even after all these years, such an achievement still evokes great emotion in all athletes. What about medal hopes for this year's Olympic Games? First and foremost, we have speed skaters. European champion in the 500 meters, Kaja Ziomek-Nogal. European champion in the 500 and 1000 meters, Damian Żurek. And the best in Europe in the 5000 meters, Władimir Siemiruny. 3 podium finishes in this season's World Cup also whet the appetite for a snowboarding medal for Aleksandra Król-Walas. Obviously, we will be cheering on all the Polish athletes. Every second of your performance, the President of Poland and the entire Polish nation will be with you, and I am convinced that you will bring home medals. I wish you this with all my heart at the Olympic Games. I am proud of you. The nation is proud of you, because the successes of the Polish team are always a source of pride. At least for now, it's just a war of nerves. The United States is putting increasing pressure on Iran and trying to force the regime to talk about giving up its nuclear weapons and killing the opposition.
I am planning on it, yeah. We have a lot of very big, very powerful ships sailing to Iran right now. And it would be great if we didn't have to use them.
The United States is concentrating its naval and air forces in the Middle East. The strike group, currently in the Arabian Sea, consists of the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln, known as the largest ship in the world, and 4 destroyers. American units are even present in the Red Sea. They are docked in Eilat, Israel. More are on the way, and the Americans also have significant forces stationed in allied countries.
We will be prepared to deliver whatever this president expects of the War Department, just like we did this month. No other military in the world could have executed the most sophisticated, powerful raid, not just in American history, I would say in world history. What those men did going downtown, another country, the most secure place in the most secure base in the middle of the night without anybody knowing until those simultaneous bombs dropped 3 minutes before the helicopters dropped. No other country could coordinate that. No other president would have been willing to empower those warriors that way to be that effective. And that sends a message to every capital around the world that when President Trump speaks, he means business.
Iran, on the one hand, suggests a willingness to talk, but on the other hand, states that its defense capabilities, as well as its missiles, will never be subject to any negotiations. If the negotiations are conducted in a fair and just manner, the Islamic Republic of Iran is ready to participate in these talks and in such negotiations. If talks between Iran and the United States were to take place at all, they would most likely be held in Turkey. The Turkish authorities are trying to ease tensions. The outbreak of a new war would have unpredictable consequences for the entire region, and President Erdogan has good relations with both Washington and Tehran. Iran are of great importance to us in the region. We are closely following developments in Iran. I would like to reiterate my deep regret for the deaths that occurred during the protests and offer my condolences to the Iranian people. I have also reiterated this to my friend, the Iranian Minister of Foreign Affairs. Following in the footsteps of the United States, the European Union has added the Iranian Revolutionary Guard to its list of terrorist organizations. This is the result of the recent bloody crackdown on protests in Iran, during which the authorities killed thousands of people. Earlier, Canada, apart from the United States, also decided to take a similar step.
In Iran, horrific crackdown on protesters has come at a heavy human cost. The EU already has sweeping sanctions in place, and today ministers agreed to designate Iran Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization. This will put them on the same footing with Daesh, Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda. Those who operate through terror must be treated as terrorists.
On the one hand, U.S. military intervention in Iran seems unlikely due to the scale of the difficulties and the risk of political destabilization in the region. On the other hand, the recent spectacular U.S. operation in Venezuela has shown that the U.S. can be unpredictable, and this complicates the situation for the authorities in Tehran. According to expert calculations, a huge fragment of the Chinese Zhuchuye-3 11-ton rocket was to enter the Earth's atmosphere today, and its final flights were to take place over Polish territory. The government security center issued information about the potential risk. The situation was monitored. The Polish Air Navigation Services Agency cooperates with the Polish Space Agency on the basis of a special agreement, including the area of the passage of a fragment of a Chinese rocket through Polish airspace. The situation is constantly monitored, and we make operational decisions on this basis. Air traffic is completely safe. Based on the latest available orbital information and the lack of known observational confirmation over Europe and Asia, we estimate that the ZQ-3 object deorbited between 11:15 Polish time and 1:13 p.m. Polish time. The last known flight path was over the Atlantic Ocean, Europe, Asia, and the Indian Ocean. The Zhuchuye-3 reusable rocket was launched on December 3, 2025. It was supposed to be China's answer to Elon Musk's Falcon 9, a rocket that revolutionized the launch market with its regular, successful first-stage landings. In the case of the Chinese rocket, the first stage burned up, but the second stage, along with the payload simulator, reached orbit, and it was this element that was supposed to deorbit. Due to its large mass and structure, it may not have burned up completely, and some of its elements may have simply fallen to the ground.